Hey everybody, I'm Andy Wike. I wanted to talk a little bit today about what's probably the most humble of pipe accessories, and that is the Czech tool. So this is the accessory that is probably most recommended for any pipe smoker just beginning their journey. It is a 3-part tool, so you get actually 3 tools in one small lightweight package. These sorts of tools have been around for, oh gosh, probably as long as the briar pipe has been available. They're made in Czech Republic. There's a lot of different variations on these as well. So you have the sort of classic sort of swivel style 3-part tool, but then you also have more stylized ones that maybe like have a main body that is in the shape of a pipe or some other Swiss Army knife kind of thing. But there's actually 3 different parts here. You have a tamping foot, which is really helpful for when you've burned that first layer of ash in your bowl and you just want to give it a nice little tamp. Also for your charring light and just getting started, just having a tamping foot that's flat, that's not shaped or vented or bezeled in any sort of way. It sort of reduces some of the user error. And so when you're first starting out, just having a nice minimalist tamping foot like this can go a really long way. Secondly, every Czech tool also comes with a nice dottle pick. So what this means is essentially like when you get down to the bottom of every bowl, there's always a little bit of unburnt pipe tobacco in the very bottom. Some of this is like, maybe it's gotten some moisture from saliva or from condensation within the smoke itself. And it just doesn't burn that well. You also don't want to necessarily like go in there and really hit it with a lighter or anything to get that stuff to combust, because you're more likely to char the bottom of your chamber. So we typically just dump out our dottle. So if you get to the bottom of the bowl, it's not burning very well, you notice you only have like a little bit left, just go ahead and take that dottle pick and just agitate that tobacco in the bottom of the bowl, and then you can pour it out and let your pipe dry before your next smoke. Lastly, every Czech tool also features this really handy scoop. This is sort of a double use tool. A lot of folks use them to ream their pipes. Now, if you're just getting into the hobby, you probably won't want to ream for a while. It's really easy to over ream your pipes, and we actually do want some of that carbon layer on our pipes because it does help protect the briar or whatever medium from the heat of the actual like smoke ember as well. So I wouldn't suggest maybe using this to ream, but you could also use it to scrape out any sort of lingering dottle that you may have not gotten with the pick. And then you can also just sort of like scrape out a little bit if you notice that your cake walls are getting a little bit too thick. But really handy, they're really lightweight. They sort of collapse all into like a single sort of nice little line here, very streamlined. It can fit in the pocket. It can fit in your accessories bag. It can kind of go like wherever you want. I typically take these when I travel because you could fit them into your bag easily. There's no sharp edges. I'm not sure if they're TSA approved, but I've never gotten asked about it. But they're really nice. They're also super inexpensive. So at Smoking Pipes, for example, you can pick up the silver model for under $3. And these will last as long as you want to, like they're made of steel, so they're not going to like rust or, really damage at all unless, just sort of average wear and tear. So, a really low investment for a tool that can probably last a really long time. I have a number of different artisanal tampers in my collection. But I always have a Czech tool on me because it's just so handy. But you can find these in a lot of different colorways, a lot of different shapes and styles. But if you're just getting into pipe smoking and you're looking for one accessory to add to your rotation that would help improve your skill, that would help improve your overall, performance in your rotation, I would highly recommend picking up a Czech tool. You can tamp with it, you can pick out dottle with it, you can ream with it. It's just a really handy accessory to have. Now, I'm not sure it's like, the designated use of the Czech tool, but here at Smoking Pipes, a lot of times we will use Czech tools to open these more European style tins, which have like the little tab on them. If you've ever tried to open one of these, maybe you've used a quarter, maybe you've used, something else to sort of wedge up there. But the Czech tool actually works really nicely to just sort of, you could take either the tamping put or the actual scooper, but then you can just come in here, and I like to just wedge it in there with the scoop. Get in there a little bit. You don't want to necessarily like damage the tin. Oh, there you go. Ta-da! And now you can enjoy your tin.